fun really begins. Jill's going to project our flip kit up on the screen, so you guys can all take a look at that there as we start to explore some things together. But before we do that, let's start by identifying the big three priorities for John. We can't solve everything in one shot, and none of us have enough time for that. So what three problems do we want to try to solve for him today?
Well, for me, it's been pretty obvious. We spent most of the time talking about his need to access all grade level materials.
Okay.
Well, I totally agree. I mean, I can't be there forever to read things to John, and it's totally embarrassing for him.
You've probably been there too long, being a 10th grader.
Well, you know, I think there's some really good tools out there to explore, and I don't think John has tried everything yet. So, you know, to support his challenges in spelling, I think there's some things I'd like to add to that list.
So spelling supports, okay.
Beyond the spelling, I think organization is a place to consider. I think it's an easy one for us to tackle, but one that John really needs help with. I'm just tired of marking him off points as he's getting tired of losing those points. And I just know that he feels bad every time that he loses points for not being organized and not having what he needs.
Okay. All right, those are three great priorities. So for access to grade level materials, what classes are we talking about that require a lot of content reading for John right now?
English, for sure.
And there's quite a bit in my class as well. And I think we should also consider that next semester he has history, and he loves the topic, but he's going to really struggle with the reading.
And he's actually already told me that he's worried about it.
Yeah.
Okay, spelling support for writing. I'm going to assume the biggest setting where that's an issue for him is English. Does he have a lot of written papers in other classes?
That's not an issue in my class.
No, we're just hands-on.
Okay, so we'll need to focus in that environment particularly. And what about organization? Is it fair to say that that would occur across all classes for John?
Yeah.
Yes, yes. All right, so now that we have our priorities and a good sense about where they are a problem for him, let's come up with some ideas of some strategies or tools to explore. So I'm going to have Jill start out, and we'll just focus in on the flip kit for the first area we talked about, which is being able to access grade level materials because of his reading issues.
Okay, well, the school is a Chrome-based school, and he does have access to a Chromebook. So, and I believe he also has an existing Bookshare account, is that right?
Yes, he does.
Okay, that's what I thought. So basically, we need to really utilize that Bookshare account because he can get all of his textbooks that way, and he can also get his literature. So it's really a matter of coordinating with teachers, of course, and being up on it each semester too, being ahead of the game, so that he has access to these books right away, so that he doesn't get behind. And the great thing about Bookshare is that he can access on his Chromebook. We'll need to arrange to get that extension put on his Chromebook, otherwise it won't read aloud to him. But he can also access on his phone or other devices wherever he can log into Chrome. So that's a great way to get those that digital text. In terms of worksheets, is that something we want to talk about, accessing worksheets? So that we kind of get into some other tools. Bookshare is not used for that. So we really need to go into some more specialized tools that are available in Chrome. And there are a lot of options, but because I'm hearing that he's got a lot of different struggles and challenges, I really do think that we're going to look at Read and Write, because it does have a universally designed toolbar, and it's got a lot of tools that I think would be beneficial to him. But in terms of accessing those worksheets, and those could come in a variety of ways, right? They can come as a PDF file. They might be a file that a teacher has shared through Google Classroom or Google, or just through Google Drive. It could be a scanned worksheet or something like that. And again, in order to access those, one of the products is called Cami, and that's an app and an extension that can be added to Chrome to help read the PDF files in particular. But a along with read and write, he'll be able to have the words be read out loud to him, and also be able to annotate and fill out those worksheets that he needs to do. But a lot of that has to happen, once we look at implementing that, later on, we'll really have to talk about what kind of training needs to happen and kind of fine tuning how to get all that done.
Those are some great options, some things it looks like we already have in place for him, and there's some new things to look at. Let's talk about some of our other priority areas. We had mentioned writing, and in particular what we can do to support his spelling concerns. Jill, do you have any suggestions when we navigate to that part of the flip?
Yeah, again, I'm going to refer back to the read and write, because it does have the word prediction feature. It also has the speech to text feature as well. But in terms of composing written material, that word prediction might be really helpful for him. It does predict words. It will read the words out loud too, in the predictor window, so that he can preview the words. It may help him increase his speed and his stamina for writing by supporting that spelling. And but we do have to keep a close eye on it. We don't want his typing speed to slow down, so it does take some training and some work in order to become fluent using that word prediction.
Our final priority area is organization, keeping track of assignments and things was kind of the big thing I heard from you guys. So Jill, do you have any suggestions in that area for us to talk about?
Sure, I think I'm just going over to the executive functioning area on the flip kit, organizing and prioritizing. There are a lot of ways to help support this. There are apps and things that you can add to the Google Chrome environment. But I think because he's in high school, he's got a lot going on, he's got a lot of classes, and they change from semester to semester. It would be really great to start utilizing Google Calendar with all the options that are available, sharing calendars with teachers if they're using them, color coding, setting those reminders to help him. And again, because it's cloud-based, he can have alerts come on his Chromebook, on his phone, to help him keep on track.
And there's gonna be some training for, the staff here to how to utilize those successfully?
Sure.
Okay.
Seems like they'd be really good to explore.
Any thoughts, any questions about what Jill kind of laid out as some things that we might want to explore? We'll get into kind of how we make that happen next, but before we move into that part, I just want to make sure you guys are all familiar with some of those things, or?
Would we get some training if we needed it?
Yes,
So
we'll
could figure out how to-
definitely address that in our plan. I know some of
Okay,
you are going to be familiar with some things, but others may be a little bit more.
Sounds interesting, sounds like some good ideas.
I'm excited about that worksheet,
Yeah.
the ability for him to do the worksheets. That's cool.
And we'll certainly make it easier for you.
All right,